Welcome to Rx-Option.com. The purpose of this video is to show you the search capabilities of the website. There are two ways that you can search. You can either search by drug name or by medical condition. The first thing that you do is pick the insurance plan that the patient has. In this case, you can see all the ones that we currently have in there, listed right here, with a final option of no insurance, which I'll explain here in a moment. So let's say I'm doing a search by drug. I've got a patient who's covered under the Aetna 3-tier plan, and I'm interested in seeing how Cymbalta is covered under that particular PDL. Just click search, and I can see that under the Aetna 3-tier plan, Cymbalta is considered a tier 3 drug, so it would be a more expensive option for the patient. And I can see the restrictions that apply to that drug. In this case, Cymbalta requires a prior authorization. It also has a step therapy. The patient must have failed on a couple of other antidepressants first. And lastly, it also has quantity limits that apply. Because our goal here is to get all pertinent information before your eyes so that you can consider this in your prescribing decision. Because the ultimate goal is to avoid situations where you have a pharmacy callback because of a failed prescription, because one minor element of this thing has not been met, and therefore the prescription gets rejected, which results in a huge friction in the system, a huge amount of time in callbacks, frustrated patients, and all the other things that go with it. The other ways that I could search is I could search by medical condition. In this case, you can see all the conditions that we have characterized the drugs under. Most of you will be very familiar with these from your medical training. There might be a very slight learning curve on this, but you should get up to speed in virtually no time at all. So in this case, Cymbalta would be considered for a mood disorder drug. So if I just type there, hit search. Now this tells me all the drugs covered under the Aetna 3-tier plan that can be prescribed for mood disorders. The default result is basically an alpha sort, so it starts at Abilify and basically works its way down. However, if I was interested in seeing those results, say sorted by the tier that they're in, I could just click tier and the search results here will resort by tier. So I have all my tier 1 drugs where I can see that certain drugs have quantity limits. Some drugs have no other restrictions. As I sort down into my tier 2 right here, I can see more quantity limits, some step therapy requirements. And then into tier 3, the more expensive drugs, I've got some prior authorizations and quantity limits, step therapies, all manner of other things. The other thing that will happen whenever you do a search, it will also populate the results under the discount pharmacy plans. Now I should explain exactly what the discount pharmacy plans are. Many of the national and regional pharmacy chains have come up with a published list of low-cost generic drugs where they'll offer certain forms and strengths of those drugs at very low prices. The prices generally start at $4. And for the discount pharmacy results, which also is the default results if you search under no insurance, you can see it'll list the drug name, the pharmacy it's available at, it'll list the various strengths of drug that drug is available at, the quantity you get for a 30-day prescription and the quantity for a 90-day prescription. It'll list the 30-day price, in this case it's $15, or the 90-day price, and it's basically $30. This is a very valuable tool if you have a patient where you suspect that the price of medications is a significant hurdle to the patient complying with a plan. So again, it just puts all the information in front of you so that you can make the most effective prescribing decision that you can. You can also sort this any which way. You can sort it by the actual pharmacy which they're available at. We can see Hannaford's, Rite Aid, Target, Walgreens, Walmart. The important thing that I should also point out is in order to get this pricing, these are all published lists that are publicly available, that the patient must actually ask for pricing under that plan. So for instance, if it was Hannaford's, they would ask for pricing under the Hannaford's Healthy Saver Plus plan. If it was Rite Aid, they would ask for the pricing under the Rite Aid Savings plan to ensure that they get these published prices. The other type of search that I'd like to show you is main care, because there is something that's a little bit unique about main care. Main Care doesn't put drugs into different pricing tiers. Main Care puts drugs in either preferred or non-preferred, with the non-preferred requiring prior authorizations. But what's unique about Main Care beyond that is that Main Care is one of the few PDLs where different strengths and forms of the same drug are categorized differently in terms of preferred and non-preferred. I'll give you an example. Suppose you have a patient that presented with hypertension. You originally prescribed lisinopril, and unfortunately the patient developed the cough, so therefore you decide the next best course of action is a calcium channel blocker, and you want to see how diltiazem is covered under the plan, under Main Care. Let's pick diltiazem here, hit search. So this is an interesting example because diltiazem is actually on the Main Care PDL 9 different times. And if I sort it so that you can separate the preferred and non-preferred, you can see that the basic form of the drug is considered non-preferred, but what is preferred is the extended release form of that particular drug. If there's pertinent information that applies to the drug, it's also listed under comments and criteria, and in this case we can see that all forms of diltiazem, even the preferred forms, if that drug is prescribed along with these two other drugs, in which in this case it's Anablex or Visicare, then diltiazem is considered non-preferred and a prior authorization is required. If a prior authorization is required for any particular drug, we've also listed the prior authorization form number just to make it even more straightforward for you. Hopefully make your prescribing basically even more efficient. Well, there you go. Thank you for your kind attention.